Hey, this is Lee Agbohlah with LTA Performance. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend Scott Ferguson.
Time to Shine Today Varsity Squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and we are at episode 140 with my good friend Big Lee Agbohlah. And Lee is a top elite personal fitness trainer, but he doesn't just handle the fitness side of things. He also gets into mindset, and he gets you out of a survival mindset into a thriving mindset. So without further ado, here's my really good friend, Big Lee Agbohlah from LTA Performance. Time to Shine Today Varsity Squad. It is Scott Ferguson. And you know, I love health, wealth, and mindset. But today we're going to talk about kind of all three with my good friend Lee Agbohlah. And that's the last time I'm going to say his last name. I'm just going to call him Big Lee. But just imagine looking in the mirror first thing in the morning and loving your body. Imagine feeling energized during the workday and not being reliant on coffee to get you through your day. Imagine being pain-free without having to take a pill to move freely. Imagine having the confidence to conquer any fear in your path and meet any challenge head on. And that's what my friend Big Lee is going to talk about today. He's not about the bro science. He's not all about the crap that's out there. He brings it on the real. He's a certified strength and conditioning specialist, personal trainer with a bachelor in science and exercise. He has 7+ years training individuals to reach their goals with sustainable success through lifestyle changes. He grew up in Chi-Town, Chicago, my Midwestern boy here, but is currently residing in Texas. And Lee, come on, introduce yourself to the Time to Shine Today Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Favorite color, I think I would just go blue.
All right.
I don't have everyone's like, man, I got a certain color blue. I don't have a certain color blue, but it's like I love the blue. Like, my car right now is midnight blue.
All right.
So any type of shades of blue I like. That's my favorite color.
Love it, man. Let's get into the origins where you're a young man. You told me you're 28, but he has the wisdom of somebody that's like 48. The man cares. If you go to his social, which all of it will be in my show notes, Lee actually goes over exercises. Like I said, he eliminates dispels the whole bro science out of it. Let's get to the origins of Lee, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just for me, and I think I've just always naturally been an athlete, I've always loved being active. It's just something that's natural. I think I do have to thank, being in an environment, my dad grew, is always playing basketball. So, I kind of grew up in the gym, I watch him, play. My brother, just like me, we were sports junkies. So, always talk about sports. So I've been like that since a kid. And so for me, grew up playing sports, went to college, played football for a little bit. And so for me, it's just, always being an athlete. And then, once I got to college, I just really learned that my passion was going to be helping others, with their health. I feel like in this country, it doesn't get talked about enough, but we do have, issues as far as our health, where it's at. We're too reliant to want to just take medications, but it's like we can prevent most of those conditions that we do have through healthy lifestyle. So for me, I just take it as like, why should we have to rely on medications, being miserable as we get old? I think we think as getting old, like we're supposed to be miserable. And it's like, no, we should love life. We should live the life that we want. So for me, it's like, I want to teach people about these preventive measures so they don't have to, be miserable with life and they can be healthy. So for me, I just took it as, my passion. And I want to help others with that. And it's been that since, really college.
I love that. And so where did you go to school?
I went to school in Truman State. It's in Northeast Missouri.
Oh, nice. Okay. The Show Me State over there. Okay, cool, man. So as you're going through and now you're a trainer, what do you think makes a great trainer or a coach?
The biggest thing is empathy and patience. Empathy and patience. And to tell you the truth, I had to learn empathy. Being an athlete, it's just like if it comes you to do it, you do it.
Yeah.
You don't, I feel like I'm kind of that age where I don't think I was like maybe how people think kids are nowadays. So it's like you still didn't talk back to coaches. So if coaches told you to do something, it was like you did it. And that's how I was raised and growing up. So it's just like, if someone told me to do something, it wouldn't be like, oh, okay, you just do it. But learning with people, it's a lot of people have a lot of different things that they've gone through life.
Sure.
So you definitely have to understand where they're coming from. You can't just think, well, this is good for you, do it, and you're going to get the results. It doesn't work that way. So, being empathetic was a big thing I had to learn, because like I said, that's not naturally, I'm not very expressive with my emotions, but that was one thing I really had to learn. And then just patience. I think patience is fine for me because I'm patient with things that I understand that takes time.
Sure.
And especially when it comes to this, I mean, patience has to be there. You're going to have clients that, are going to struggle, and you have to be able to help them. You can't just get frustrated, and you can't, just think that it's going to happen overnight for them, because the process, it takes time. So you can't expect it like, okay, they're just going to progress from day one. Like, no, it's going to take everyone a little bit different. So you got to have patience. A lot of people don't have it, especially, when I first did it in personal training, you might have to repeat yourself 5 times.
Right.
And a lot of people are like, if you have to repeat themselves, they're just like getting frustrated. And it's like, you can't show your frustrations with them. You have to understand, like, I understand, and teach them how it's supposed to be done. So definitely empathy and patience. I think those are 2 top things.
That's fantastic. And, it's funny is that, I told you a little bit about my being a trainer in the past, but you probably forgot more than I probably ever knew about being a trainer. But, I've been in the real estate business, for 22 years. Right. And like, it was a lot like being a trainer where you're not just their trainer. I'm not just their realtor. You're like their marriage counselor. You're like their sounding board for like everything, because in between sets, there's those rest periods, right, where you're having discussions with these people that they probably don't tell anybody else being a trainer. So that's almost like a blessing that you have, right?
Yeah, it's definitely, you're right. You might have the title of a personal trainer, you might have the title as a coach, but you're right. It's so much more than that. You do really become, like that friend. You really do. It's not, fake that, you do become that friend. You're right. They're going to tell you, things in a personal, if you got to get to that level, because they have to trust you.
Right.
Because that's a big thing. So they have to buy in, they have to trust you. And once you get to that level, they'll open up. And then that's when you really are able to help them. Because if you don't know what's going on in their life, or you don't know what they've been through, you really can't help them. So you're right. They'll tell you everything that's happened in personal life, family deaths, like you said, relationships, breakups, all types of things. So you're right. I mean, you're just so much more than that.
Love it. And so if I'm out at a networking event, because you do online coaching, correct?
Yes, I do online coaching.
Perfect.
Totally. I don't do it in personal anymore.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. So if I'm out pressing some flesh, meeting some people, what kind of things are they saying to me that would make them a good prospect, contact, connection, or a referral for Big Lee?
To me, first and foremost, is their life is busy. That is directly who I help. Or those business professionals, their lives are busy. So, of course, we know business is important. We all want to reach that level of financial success. And I think the process sacrifice and, their time for themselves is really the issue. We think that we can't do more than one thing at a time, right? So we think if I'm working on, this business, I got multiple businesses, I'm a parent, I have my spouse, I have my other things going on in my life that I have no time for myself to be able to, improve my health. And I believe it's all about balance in life. When we think about balance, it's not like, a scale where it has to be equal, because that doesn't exist, of course.
Right.
But it's balancing to what, you want in life.
Sure.
So, your work, obviously that's going to take most of your time. Your time with your family is going to take a lot of time. And I always like to say this, it takes less than 3% of your time each week to reach your goals. It really doesn't take that much time. When we think about it, we got 168 hours in a week. If you can give, 2 to 3 hours a week dedicating to your fitness, dedicating to your diet.
Wow.
Your health, if we cut back on some stuff. So, that is what's needed. So it's really about putting that structure in our lives to fit that lifestyle that we want.
And you help them. Awesome. That's beautiful. So if, you have a new client that's coming in, you're in the discovery process with them. What is some of the secret sauce that you, Lee, use to help them find their blind spots?
To me, it's really that initial conversation.
Right.
You have to find out, first and foremost, what is your goal and why is it important to you? So if someone says, first what their goal is, they might say, I want to lose 30 pounds. Is it really to lose 30 pounds? Does anyone really care about a number? No, it's what is that 30 pounds going to give you? Is it going to allow you to have more energy throughout your day so you could be more productive in your job? You have more time for your family, have more time for your other stuff that you want in life? Is it going to be able to give you the look that you want, where you have that confidence, where you're now happy with the body that you have? Is it going to allow you to have that lifestyle that you want, where you can live a long life, where you can be there for your grandkids and the rest of your people in your family? That's what you really want. So a lot of times people are not going to give you that answer right away. They're just going to say, yeah, I want to lose 30 pounds. But it's like, I really have to find out, what is it that you want?
Right.
Because that's the thing that is the biggest thing. We have to find out what you want and why is that important. Once you cover that, then we can get to the other things. We can get to, why you feel like you don't have time, why you feel,
right.
the other stuff that's going on. So you can really get into that. But first I have to find out why, why.
So you find that goal and then you can set the systems around it, right?
Yeah.
To achieve that goal, right? Awesome. So when you're first meeting with people, Lee, is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
Yeah, I really feel I feel like I have to ask a question, of course, but I feel like, what is it that you want from me? What is it that you want me to do? Because that is the biggest question that needs to be answered, because what you expect from me, I want to surpass what you even expect, because I believe in giving more value than that's even there expected, because that's what's so important. So, I think a lot of times when someone's going to work with someone, they're like, okay, yeah, I want this, I want that, but they're not always saying that. And yes. I think that's so important. To me, communication is so important. It's like, we need to cover everything that you want, because then that's the way that, I'm going to be able to deliver on that. So, sometimes I think, people think, well, the trainer, yes, we are the expert, but it's about giving you what you want, because ultimately you're hiring me to change your life.
Absolutely.
So, I'm not one that's like, okay, you're going to do this because this is the way of doing it. No, it's what's going to be best for you.
Right. So because you listened.
Yes. Listening is key. A lot of people don't do it, but you got to listen. But, once you find that out, then, that's the best way I can help. Because it's like, if I don't know what you want, I'm going to give you some things that are going to help you, but you might need something else,
Right. How important is sleep?
Oh, gosh. Sleep is so important. This is definitely undervalued. We think, especially as entrepreneurs, I think you could attest this. How many entrepreneurs have said, we don't sleep, you don't need sleep, sleep, money never sleeps, that's the thing that we think. So we're like, oh, we don't need sleep. Sleep is for the weak. Right. And it's not true, because your body is going to run better with sleep. With you not sleeping well is going to cause a lot of your issues that you're going on with,
Sure.
85% of adults rely on coffee each day.
Right.
Now, coffee is not bad for you, but it's like, if you feel like you can't go through your day without coffee, there's probably something else going on, right?
It's underlying,
and sleep is a big thing, because if you're recovering properly, your body's going to run better. People don't think of when you're missing sleep, what else is that going to do to you? You're going to be hungrier. So when you're trying to lose weight, you're not going to be able to lose weight, because you're going to have those cravings,
that Garland kicks
aches and pains as you get older. The reason you're not recovering, because sleep is helping you recover, and just having that energy out through the day. So it's like, sleep is so important.
Do you have certain hacks that you help your clients with as you bring them in if they have the problems with sleep?
Yeah, to me, the big thing is we have to cover what's kind of going on with your sleep. So for me, especially because we are in that age of where we have to be on our phones all day.
Absolutely.
So it's known, that blue light is going to be bad for you. So you really shouldn't, be on your phone or really TV an hour before you go to sleep. That blue light is going to disrupt your sleeping habits. The reason why you wake up in the morning is not just because, well, you slept. It's the light and everything is going to wake you up eventually. So we have to, remove some of that lighting. Not eating 2 hours before you go to bed is going to help. If you are someone that naps, I can tell you, I used to nap all the time. Once I got back to college, it's like you go back to being a kid again.
Yeah.
So you got this time, you got to nap. So I was so used to napping, and to tell you the truth, I cut off myself even napping because I was like, I want to improve my quality of sleep.
At night, right?
Yes.
You can throw that off.
You go to sleep like that, and you sleep very well. When you wake up, you're like, man, I got more energy now.
Right.
So those are a little few hacks that definitely help your sleep.
No, I appreciate that. Like, I if I do anything, I do a binaural beats in both of my ears, and for like 15 minutes, and I'll sit where it puts you in that beta wave, where it's like you're actually repairing your body because you're almost into an alert REM. It's the craziest thing. You should try it sometime if you haven't, because it just totally rewires me, and I do it no later than like 1:30 in the afternoon. If I do it later than then, I'll be wired all night. If I do it a little bit earlier, no, that's great that you brought up the sleep hacks. I appreciate that. So we talk a lot about the dash here at Time to Shine today. And I want to know, and my squad wants to know, Lee, how you want your dash remembered. And what I mean by that is, you're that little mark between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life and death date. How do you want people to remember Lee's dash?
I just feel ultimately someone that they can respect. To me, respect is something, of course, like they say, you got to earn. So I want to be respected as someone that, always told people, factual stuff, especially in the industry, the fitness industry. There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of people, sometimes that are just care about the money side, but I really do care about people. It's cliche and it sounds corny, but it's like, yes, I could do this if I didn't get paid for it, because I love it and I feel like this is something that's so important. So I would love people to remember it by that, I was, honest, humble person that wanted to help as many people as you can. I feel like there's, like I said, so many issues that are going on that can be fixed through these healthy lifestyle changes. So I want to be able to impact as many people as I can.
Sure.
Obviously, when you're first starting off, you're not as known, of course, so not as many people know about you. But, by the time I leave my imprint, I want to be one of those, figures that everybody can remember, that be like, man, he changed, how we do things because he was able to impact so many people. And I really believe I will be able to do that.
You will. Absolutely.
Of course, over time. So I want people to remember me like that. I do want to have that type of imprint in life.
Love it. So what are 3 person, places, or things you can't live without?
Person, places, or things.
Either one. All of them. They could all be things. It could all be people. What are 3 things?
Well, definitely. It's hard because I feel like then I got to pick both mom and dad.
Family is good. Just say family, baby.
Family. If it's family one, can I?
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, family. So definitely, family is very important for me. Definitely could not live without my family. I'll take friends as number 2.
There you go.
For me, definitely having those friends in your life that are positive. That's the big thing I'm big on, is telling people you got to have that positivity in your life. And, having other people that make me be better and help me grow is really important. And I guess place Chicago, hometown. I couldn't live without it. It's home and always will be home.
Love it, man.
I don't live back there, but it will always be my second home.
Chicago, I actually did my internship at the Board of Trade, which was just blast. I lived in Oak Park, kind of like Southport and Belmont streets there. And I had a blast in Chicago. Love Chicago. So what to you, Lee, is a definition of a life well lived?
To me, a life well lived is accomplishing what you want out of life and then helping others. I think we can't just to me, you have to help others. I think that is something that, you have to be able to impact more than just yourself. And like I said, obviously fitness for me makes it easier, with help to help people. But, even like you said in real estate, you can help as a real estate, help other people, with that. Exactly. So whatever your career is, you could become that mentor to help others, because it's like, why, hold those secrets for yourself, help others. And then for me, I want to accomplish, of course, what I want out of life. So
right.
to me, that's when I know that I have made a difference.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. You are. Absolutely. So as we wind things down a little bit, we like to go into our leveling up lightning round. You and I could talk 15, 20 minutes on each one of these topics, but you got 5 seconds. First thing that's off the top of your head. Okay. All right, brother? They can all be answered. All right. What's the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Stay positive.
Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Working out every day.
Love it. Love it. Go figure on that one. So, not the book you're reading now or not the flavor of the month you're seeing out there, but what is there one book that kind of stands out to you that if I was in the doldrums or when I'd be like, Fergie, read this book?
The Slight Edge, and I just finished it a month ago.
You know what's funny? Check this out, man. I'm pulling this off my screen. That's my shiny penny, bro, from The Slight Edge. I actually remember this shiny penny.
Yes.
I keep it on my monitor. It is a reminder for the shiny penny.
Yeah, it's so great.
Your social bomb-ass book. I have the author coming on in October or November. We're working on it, which is going to be awesome. He doesn't do interviews, so he's like kind of coming on. Anyways, what is the most commonly used emoji when you text?
Laughing, the laughing emoji.
The upright or the side?
Just upright. The side is for special occasions. It got to be really funny.
All right, my man. So, Hollywood actor or sports star?
Sports star.
Oh, man, I knew you were going to say that. What's your favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time and or money to?
I would say, why am I losing? I don't know why I'm losing.
It'll come to you.
It's like you got to think. I don't know why I was going blank on that, but man, it's
okay. It's all good, Big Lee. All right, last question. It's a little harder, and you can explain on this one. But what's the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s?
I'll go 90s because obviously I'm a 90s baby.
90s baby. Love it. Love 90s. It. Lee, how can we find you, brother?
Well, you can find me at my website, ltaperformance365.com. You can add me on Facebook. My name, Lee Agbohlah. And at my Instagram, Coach Lee _LTA Performance. Or also connect with me on LinkedIn. Same thing, my name.
Beautiful, beautiful. And folks, all of that will be in the show notes as well. You'll be able to find them right away. And if you want a personal introduction to Lee, reach out to me and I'd be happy to make that for you. Lee, leave us with one last knowledge nugget that you want us to take with us, internalize, and take action on.
Just do one thing today that's going to make a difference. Don't feel like you have to do so much at once. That one thing you do will become a habit over time, and then you can start to bring other habits in your life that are going to make a difference. So don't feel overwhelmed. It just take that action. Taking that action will make the difference.
I love that. In Squad, we just had our mind blown with basically a free masterclass with our top trainer, Lee. And, I have a whole show like full of notes I took with my man here. He has a passion of helping others with health. He doesn't want you to live in a survival mindset, but a thrive, especially as you age. So you want to get with somebody like Lee that's going to help you get out of the survive but thrive mindset. He believes in empathy and patience. He believes in what we call here at Time to Shine Today, inch by inch, it's a cinch. By the yard, it's hard. Bite off a little bit every single day. That's why we're always saying inch by inch is a cinch. If your life's busy and you need balance and harmony, give me a call. You reach out to me or reach out to Lee in the show notes. He reminds us that 3%, if you would just give 3% of your time each week to your goals, how much you will level up. It just compounds on top of itself. So there's so many hours in a week, 3% is like 3 hours, peeps. So don't make excuses, make adjustments, and level up. If you're working with a coach, ask them what they expect from you. So you're staying on the same wavelength, if you will. He always leaves giving more value than what's expected, so he over delivers, which is fantastic, especially in a trainer, because a lot of trainers, they just grind people through and they're on to the next. Lee is there for the long run. And again, one thing a day will make a difference. Lee is a big believer in the compound effect, and it all keeps adding up and adding up. So Lee, he levels up his health, he levels up his wealth, he's humble, yet he's hungry. He's always fired up, and you're part of our squad now, Lee. So thanks so much for coming on, brother.
You're welcome. I got one thing to say because it came to my head. Salvation Army.
There you go, my man.
I couldn't think of why, but those are because I donate some of my clothes and I just forget.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I appreciate it.
I was like, why can't I think right now?
Awesome, Lee. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast. Proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.